Stoic armor meets Bhagavad Gita wisdom. Build unshakable self-belief in 7 days like a Spartan warrior. Welcome to a journey that blends the disciplined courage of the Stoics with the serene purpose of the Bhagavad Gita. Over the next 7 days, you'll equip yourself with a mental armor that no storm can breach, a Spartan warrior mindset ready for any battle, whether in business, relationships, or your own inner life. Let's begin. Chapter 1. The Dawn of the Warrior Mindset. In ancient Greece, the young Spartiate Leonidas was sent to the battlefield before he had even learned to read. He carried only a small dagger, a shield, and the unshakable belief that his training would protect him. When he stared into the eyes of a hostile enemy, Leonidas understood that fear is a state of mind, not of the body. Marcus Aurelius, who would later rule as emperor, recorded similar reflections in his meditations. He wrote that the greatest power a man has is the control of his thoughts, and that each morning he would remind himself that the day ahead would present hardships. The lesson is simple. A warrior's mind is not born from sheer physical strength, but from disciplined focus and the acceptance that the world will challenge you. Today, you can adopt this mindset by starting each day with a quick pause. Find a quiet spot, close your eyes, and ask yourself, what obstacles might arise? How will I respond calmly and decisively? Write down one intent that frames your day, perhaps, I will respond with clarity to any challenge, or I will keep my focus on what I can control. This brief ritual trains your mind to be ready, just as the Spartans did before setting foot on the field. Conclusion. The first step to unshakable self-belief is a clear, calm mind that acknowledges danger but does not fear it. Call to action. If you felt that spark of disciplined courage, hit the like button, share this video with someone who needs a boost, and subscribe or follow for the next chapter. Reflective question. As you stand ready for the day's challenges, what one thought would you like to repeat silently each morning to fortify your warrior mindset? Chapter 2. The Shield of Perspective. Legend speaks of the wise Chinese Emperor Qin Shi Huang, who, while assembling his Great Wall, told his builders, "When the wall is finished, you will look back and feel that the world is no longer a threat." His insight was not about the wall itself, but about the psychological transformation that a defensive structure can deliver. In the Bhagavad Gita, Arjuna faced the same battlefield dilemma. He was overwhelmed by doubt because he saw friends and kin on both sides. Krishna reminded him that the self is eternal, the body is merely a vessel that appears and disappears. Arjuna's solution was to let go of attachment to outcomes, focus instead on duty, and act with clear intent. These ancient lessons fit perfectly with Stoic practice. Look at your problems through a lens of external objective events that are outside your control and assess internal responses which you can always choose. When you get a harsh email, remember that it is an external event. How you choose to let it affect you remains yours to decide. A practical example. Imagine you're preparing a presentation and the room's lights flicker unexpectedly. Instinctively, you might freeze or shout. Instead, pause, take a deep breath, and adjust calmly. Your composed response demonstrates resilience and preserves your credibility. Conclusion. Perspective turns peril into possibility. By seeing events as neutral, you free yourself to respond with wisdom rather than reaction. Call to action. If you can see beyond the immediate and into the broader viewpoint, give this video a like, share it to spread the wisdom, and subscribe for the next day's adventure. Reflective question. When a sudden obstacle arises, which part of your mindset do you tend to rely on most? Why? Chapter 3. The Battle Against Ego. Arjuna's great internal struggle is perhaps the most famous parable of self over self. He feared losing honor, losing loved ones, and losing his own sense of identity. When Krishna explained the nature of the soul, Arjuna found that ego could be the greatest enemy on the battlefield. Seneca, a Stoic philosopher, wrote that the greatest obstacle to happiness is expecting the future to look the way we want it. He stressed that the ego often disguises itself as personal ambition. When ego leads us, we act based on what we think we should receive rather than what we truly need. Today, the ego plays out in many of our daily decisions: a rushed promotion, costly purchases, or an over-ambitious project that overextends. It is easy to be dazzled by the illusion of control. The trick is to practice humility in small ways. Example of action. Before committing to a new project that promises huge returns, pause and ask, what is my real purpose? Will this align with my values and not just with ego? If your answer leans toward ego, consider stepping back or redefining the goal. Conclusion. By confronting ego, we create space for authentic purpose and true self-belief that is rooted not in external accolades, but in inner conviction. Call to action. Like, share, and subscribe if you find the idea of conquering ego powerful. Let's keep growing together. Reflective question. What small action can you take today that challenges a habitual ego response and instead aligns with your deeper values? Chapter 4, The Art of Acceptance. The Japanese samurai code of Bushido taught that the warrior accepts death as a part of life, and in doing so maintains unwavering peace. In the Stoic tradition, acceptance is known as amor fati, the love of fate. The Bhagavad Gita's teaching that one must perform duty without attachment to results reflects the same principle. When we face situations that are truly outside our influence, we can choose either to resist or to accept. Marcus Aurelius, after reading that many fortunes are determined by circumstance, wrote, "If you are distressed by anything external, the pain is not due to the thing itself but your judgment." Practical step. Imagine a project at work that you cannot finish on time because of a supply delay. Rather than simmer, consider what adjustments are possible. Renegotiate deadlines, reallocate resources, or communicate transparently with stakeholders. By accepting the reality and acting in alignment with it, you preserve credibility and morale. Conclusion. Acceptance does not mean resignation. It means wise action in the face of reality, freeing you from anxiety and enabling decisive leadership. Call to action. If embracing acceptance resonates with you, hit like, share this content, and subscribe to catch the final chapter of this Spartan journey. Reflective question. When faced with an uncontrollable obstacle, what calm action can you commit to that both acknowledges reality and moves you forward? Chapter 5, The Resolute Commitment. The final day of training for a Spartan warrior culminated in the oath taken before the battlefield, a promise to duty, to comrades, and to oneself. The oath was not a mere formality, but a declaration that one would carry the discipline gained over the years into every confrontation. In Marcus Aurelius's view, the meditations themselves were an ongoing oath to uphold virtue. The Bhagavad Gita concludes with the idea that selfless action creates lasting confidence, the self-belief that arises from purposeful living. Today's command is the culmination of your week-long training. Commit openly to a goal that reflects your core values. Write a personal vow in the same tone of a warrior's oath, clear, resolute, and specific. For example, I vow to treat every challenge as an opportunity to apply disciplined calm, to accept what I cannot change, and to act with the integrity that defines my character. When you speak your vow aloud, you set an audible reminder that you hold yourself accountable to these principles. Keep it somewhere visible, a sticky note on your monitor, a reminder on your phone, or a physical inscription. Conclusion. By making a conscious, declared commitment, you align your actions, thoughts, and identity into a unified force, a true Spartan of the mind. Call to action. If you're ready to pledge this warrior oath, like, share, and subscribe to our channel. Bring the same commitment into your own daily life and watch your self-belief rise. Reflective question. What would your personal warrior oath look like, and how will you ensure you live it each day? Philosophy Spotlight, Stoicism Unveiled. Stoicism is the philosophy of turning the inner world into an impenetrable fortress. Its core message is simple to grasp. Control what you can, accept what you cannot, and never allow your emotions to overrule your rational mind. Marcus Aurelius, the greatest Stoic emperor, demonstrated that even in a war of empire or the tumult of cosmic uncertainty, one can remain calmly focused. Learning from Stoicism in the modern world yields 3 crucial lessons. 1. Discipline through mindful reflection. Just as Aurelius practiced nightly review of his actions, we can schedule brief reflections at the start or end of each day. This keeps us anchored to principles rather than impulsive wants. 2. Resilience in the face of adversity. Stoics embrace hardship as a catalyst for growth. Viewing criticism as an opportunity to learn reframes failures from personal attacks into stepping stones towards mastery. 3. Clarity of mind as leadership. A clear mind is a decisive mind. Leaders who practice Stoic clarity can make unbiased decisions, inspire trust, and guide others, just as a Spartan commander led his hoplites into battle. Applying Stoicism today means treating every encounter, be it an email, a meeting, or an internal urge, as an external event. The response, however, is under your control. By consciously choosing your reactions, you keep your self-belief unshaken. The combination of Stoic discipline and the Bhagavad Gita's emphasis on duty creates a potent blueprint. Discipline to guard against ego, acceptance to free from attachment, and purposeful action to carve your destiny. Exactly what a Spartan warrior embodies. Final call to action. If you found value in this blend of ancient wisdom, please press like, share with someone looking for resilience, and subscribe or follow to bring more daily inspiration into your life. Let us stride forward together, armored with Stoic calm and Gandhian purpose, ready to conquer any modern battlefield. Final reflective question. As you leave today with your newly forged mental armor, which inner promise will you carry first when tomorrow's challenges appear?